Boom, and we're live.
We're
Boys,
live.
we're back. Week 7? It's been so much fun kicking all your butts. If I mean all of you, I mean half of you, because I'm 3-3. Welcome back. The Rankers are here. Noah, Justin,
I'm here.
You're laughing at me. Justin, you alive? Noah's here.
Yeah, I'm here. I am live.
I'm
We
glued to
might
my
have a
screen.
surprise guest. Maybe not. Who knows? In the meantime, let's talk about rankings. We'll get to anything you wanted to hear about this pod. Skip ahead. Just don't go. Just kidding. Don't skip ahead. Start here. All right. The bottom end, Kestner at 12. I'm diving right in. Kestner at 12, and everyone,
So consistent.
well done, Kestner. He got a win.
You won.
He got a win.
Huge dub.
He got a big old W against Josh, his counterpart, his anti-Josh. I don't know. We need some Josh rivalry in the league. We need, like, whoever has the better record at the end of the year, like, gets to be Josh, and the other one gets to be their last name or something. That should happen. I think they should have their own, like, win-off. And
I
then,
feel like we've established Kessler.
Josh Bowl.
yeah, the Josh Bowl. Like, I think, like, they should have their own thing going, and then next year it's officially Kobayashi or Kestner. Anyway, just thought of that now. Kestner, your team sucks, but good job. All right, Jacob. And Jacob, I told you last week, if I lost to you, I would put myself at 12. I didn't have to do that. I did not put myself at 12.
It was a little close for a little bit.
There was a moment where it was 15-1-49 in Jacob's favor.
Did you? Okay, whatever.
And then,
I didn't believe it was going to
immediately after that,
But I
Lamar
had
threw a
thought.
touchdown to Andrews and Brees Hall scored a touchdown. It was like immediately 70-30 right after that.
I'm playing Jacob, and I'm like watching it. I was with family, and I get this text: the Jackson Andrews touchdown just killed me. Yeah, I'm sorry.
He was right.
Yeah, but good game at 11, and I liked the effort last week. Loved having him on the pod last week. Love the effort to rebuild the team via the waiver wire. I think more work needs to be done if he wants to jump back in it. Who did he play this week? I can't find him. Oh, he plays Guy. Oof,
Yeah, rough.
that's not fun. Okay, at 10, Justin, who do we have at 10?
Ken.
Talk about it. I'm done talking. I need a drink.
He's been at 10 for the past 3 weeks. Not as
How
bad
many
as
points did he
Jaber
put up last
Kessler,
week?
but not enough to actually move anywhere. So
He went up against the only team that popped off last week. It's not unfortunate.
He had 91. What was the expected win? Did he have an
Right.
expected win last week? He might have.
no.
Okay, well, yeah. 91. He was down Derrick Henry. He gets Derrick Henry back this week.
Yeah, that is good.
But he's down.
Tough road back. He's 1-5.
Yeah, it's not
Herbert's
looking
been
good.
kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
So
Well,
tough spot.
and he plays me this week, and he's down to starting tight end, Thielen, Devin Singletary, and Mike Sanders. He literally doesn't have another running back right now. It's just Derrick Henry. So not looking good. All right.
Talk. I'll trade you.
Yeah. I mean, got to consider it.
I mean, he has. So one last thing on Ken, he is at -2 for expected wins. So he's been unlucky, and I think he also has the most points against.
Yeah, his
He
points
does.
against is absurd.
Yeah, he does have the most points against, for sure. But still, woof. I mean, if he loses this week, probably will. But if let's say he does, he's at 1-6. You got to win out to have a chance at a wild card, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
8-6.
you
8 and
need
6
at
to
least
do it.
8 wins to have a shot.
Yeah.
I think.
So
Yeah.
I mean, good news for him is that he'll be at the end of his. If he loses this week and he's 1-6, at the end of next week is the trading deadline. So like he'll be able to make a decision one way or the other, I guess.
Mhm.
That's terrible. Okay, moving on. At 9, Justin. Justin's at 9. You flew too close to the sun, my friend. You were up 3 spots. You were at 6. Things
We
looked
bet
up.
it all, and it didn't work out.
And talk to us. Don't talk about that thing everyone wants to know about. We don't want to know about that. We want to talk about that
We
later. No,
Oh,
we want to talk about that
okay.
later.
Fair enough.
But for right now, I want to hear about, other than he who shall not be named, talk about the rest of your team. Talk about what you're thinking.
Well, Dak is
He who
back
shall
this
not
week.
be named as he grabs his.
Oh, you understood that? Oh!
Hey.
But Dak is back. I love the name, Admiral Dak Bar. It's quality.
Yeah. Yeah, so the
Um,
quarterback maybe stabilizes, which is good. I mean, he who shall not be named is gone, but like this is the team as it was originally constructed, which I'm. So it's not like I don't have anything. I think they're running.
Who's your
backs
receiver
are-
core now?
Receiving core, T. Higgins is my 1. Devontae Smith or Metcalf is the 2.
Metcalf's been really consistent. I know
Smith
he had
has
bad
been
games
good.
last
Devontae
week.
Smith is a borderline wide receiver 1 right now. So
Yeah.
he's been great.
Come alive. Yeah.
I mean, I need Mixon to like start being a 1. If he can do that,
Scoring touchdowns.
yeah, that would. I think I'll have I'm in 2 of 4 heat now. I get Mark this week. Mark is down as 2 starting wide receivers. If I can get a win this week, and my team starts playing better, like I think I have a legit shot at making playoffs, but it's going to be hard, and I need a big time RB resurgence for that to happen.
Yeah.
RBs have been crap.
Yeah. I will say that hopefully Dak works out. Hopefully it's not a trap. I don't get the
moving
come
on.
on. Admiral Dak Bar, it's a trap. Oh, thank you. Okay.
Yeah, there you
all
go.
right. No, it's not.
I've heard better.
But yeah, hopefully that works out for you. Okay, at 8. Big rise. Well, it's a 1-spot rise, but big rise. Boys, we doubted him. We had him buried.
I
We
buried
started
him.
someone who was out. And then he's been roaring back. Last week without his best running back. That's right. Josh Jacobs is his best running back. I believe it. Prove me wrong. Bryn is at 8. And he could go up. He's right here.
3-game
Tucker?
win streak.
Big. Huge.
3-3.
3-3. Noah, give us your thoughts.
I'm excited that he came back. I think I'm very impressed at his managerial skills to come back from 0-3 and become a contender, because 3-3 is pretty much a playoff contender at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I think well done. I don't remember what his roster makeup is, but obviously he's winning games. Ooh, he's projected for 111. That's really solid.
Yeah, he's playing against Santos.
Traded for Eno. Did that work out? Did Eno play well? I don't think he did.
He got 8
No,
points.
8
So it was
points
like
is okay.
He was all right. If Connor
Oh, he's
doesn't
got
go tonight,
Tyreek.
you got to play him again. And it kind of works out because Cook's on bye. And then technically you don't need Eno again. So I like the deal.
Yeah.
But Josh
He's
Jacobs
got
is back against Houston.
Yes,
Mm,
his roster is
great.
pretty decent.
It's great.
He's got depth now, that was our big knock on his
He's got
roster.
2
We always
tight
thought
ends,
the
2
starting
kickers,
roster
2
was good.
QBs. He's covered everywhere.
But like Myers is a pinch too, right? Some of his flex and wide receivers are going to have to go on by, and you just plug Myers in for the week.
Mhm.
It's not bad. I
Yeah.
like it.
I might
Myers is
start
a plug
Myers
boy.
over Judy, to be honest.
Yeah, I might
Yeah.
do that as well.
I agree. They play the Bears this week, right? Oh yeah, all day.
Bailey
Yeah, Brandon,
Zappi.
good job.
Zap, zap, zap.
You got zapped. Yeah, Brandon. Really, really pleasant. Really great to see. Oh, it's Santa!
Hey,
my goodness.
Mr.
He's
Santa
here.
Oh,
Days.
boy! Yo, we're at 8
Wow.
in the rankings. We just passed you at 9. We're at 8. I'm just joking.
Well,
Never
it's
gets
been a
old.
great night, guys. Great being on the show. I gotta go now.
Are you driving?
Oh, we lost him.
He crashed.
Well, he'll come back. Oh, that would be terrible. Oh, he's back! All right, anyway, so we're talking about Bryn at 8. We're just finishing up here. We're going to get to the next guy. But Bryn, good job sticking with it and convincing Carson Wentz not to do anything on Thursday night. Hey, by the way, guys, real quick. Carson Wentz before Thursday night, before Thursday night against the Bears, played on Thursday 6 times, averaged 22 fantasy points. He was like
On
a Thursday
TNF?
night god. And then he goes up against Bryn, not so fast. Not tonight. That's interesting. No, it's not. Okay,
That's
7.
talent right there.
At 7, rise. Another huge rise. At 7, it's Noah. Noah,
Wait,
you're up one
I
spot.
went up. I thought I was 7 last week. I was 8. Let's go! Hey, I'll take it. Working my way back.
Yeah, talk to us. Talk to us about your outlook.
It's not great, Bob. Not great.
I mean, big win. Come on, talk yourself up.
Not a big win. I put up 85 points. I'm concerned, but I don't think there's like many moves to be made.
Oh,
Because I got running
make
backs.
some moves.
Well, I do as well, but like, I think if Keenan Allen never comes back, then my season is just over. Or I'd have to trade and send some draft capital for a wide receiver. I don't really want to make a move for a tight end because I don't think there's anyone worth getting that's not Andrews or Kelsey that would be better than what I already have. I like seeing Z come alive. I hope he can become like a flex play, which I think is possible. I'm still concerned about like the boom potential of my roster. I don't really think it's there. And I don't know if Murray is. I feel stuck with Murray. Like Murray could be.
This is a big week. He gets.
We got 2 Santoses in here.
Yeah, we had double Santos for a moment. D-Hop is back.
Yeah, I mean, I still have depth. I don't have like any missing big holes. So we'll see. Maybe I can have a guy turn around where my player's crap and then just pop off suddenly, and I jump 8 spots in the rankings.
We'll get to Guy. Santos, what's your outlook? What's your outlook on the Cardinals' offense with D-Hop back, but Marquise Brown out?
I'll give my thoughts. I don't think it's that
turn.
much better.
He's making a left turn.
Like, I think Marquise Brown was pretty good, even though, I don't know. I don't think it's like going to miraculously get better. I think they need to fire Kingsbury for it to really get better.
Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I do think that we've seen Murray with and without D-Hop, regardless of the receiver across from him, and I think it is a bump. I think, Justin, you were alluding to that you have a very similar opinion.
Yeah.
They do get a tougher matchup this week against New Orleans, but no Marshawn Lattimore. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised by that. But I agree with you that you're stuck. Like, there are a few quarterbacks that I would take over Murray. That are available. Like, I'm not trading you Jackson. Allen and Hurts are not available. And then
sir.
So, like, I mean, like, and then the same, like you said with tight end, they're just kind of stuck there too.
He's the QB6 right now. Like, I know, like, he hasn't been necessarily amazing, but he's been fine.
He's been pretty good, yeah.
I mean, would you rather start Murray or do what I'm having to do this week and play like Derek Carr? That's fantastic.
Ooh.
Pick up Bailey Zappi.
Zap zap zap.
I did pick him up in my dynasty league, actually.
Nice.
What?
Yeah.
There's no way he holds even dynasty value. There's no way.
Hey,
Mac Jones is the savior, right?
Well, look, it's called Zappy Fever, baby, and that's what
it's
all
called?
of New England has right now.
You got zapped. All right.
Is he a 6th-round QB?
He was.
Uh-oh.
Wait, in fantasy or in the actual?
In reality.
In real life.
No, he's not.
No
a
one
sixth
drafted
round
him.
QB.
Undrafted?
No, he was like a 4th rounder, I thought.
He was a 4th rounder, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
So
not
not the
quite
next
goat
Tom Brady.
tier.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Not
Okay.
yeah, not pick 199. No.
Sanders, it's good to have you. All right, moving on from 7. And this is a big collapse. Big collapse. And Justin, I want to hear, because I think I know why I've got him down. But we have Josh. Justin, you're the lowest on him. Tell me why he's plummeted in your rankings.
Well, I think, first of all, like, when I did my ratings, Josh, Mark, and Noah were all tied. So I just so it's not like I have him at lower, but like he could have easily been 5. I just kind of went in and just kind of took which roster I prefer.
which is where I am.
So I think for me, like the running backs are kind of becoming question marks. Like Jones he had his ceiling game, in week 2, and he hasn't really done much since. Dobbins is a big question mark. I mean, thankfully he's got Kenyon Drake, so whatever happens, maybe that's good. The wide receivers are nice. I think he needs like little suggestion here, Noah. I would make a deal with Josh because Josh has got wide receivers. You've got running backs. I think there's a deal to be had there. Josh needs a running back. You need wide receivers big time.
Let's make it happen.
That could be had. But I think, he gets Hawkins. So, that's a
Big game.
That's a big, and then again, like his wide receiver depth is outstanding. He's got Godwin and Deontay on the bench. So, I think, and he's got Olave and then Hopkins and Adams as well. So I think we'll see what happens with the running back position. I think that's really the reasoning for taking him down, because the rest of the rosters above him that I have ranked above him are a little bit more balanced, where Josh just has a gaping hole for both running back, I think, positions.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I've dropped him at 5, and it's purely because I don't believe in Jones. I don't believe in Dillon. I'm really kind of down most of the Packers offense. I think that Jones might have a good week against Washington, and that might be a good opportunity for Josh to flip him plus a receiver and try to upgrade the position, hopefully. So if you're listening to this, don't hear what I just said. If Josh tries to trade you Aaron Jones, go for it. No, I think they're terrible. And with the Hunt's done nothing. We were kind of hoping he would have like flex play, but he's done nothing. Yeah, I don't believe in Kenyon Drake. I think, Gus Edwards is coming back and Justice Hill's been getting run, and I think that's just going to be a mess.
Yeah,
and,
Drake was
with
a
that big of a
1 week
hole,
flash in the pan.
Yeah, and one big run, actually. If you look at his production, he had one big 60-yard touchdown run on a gaping hole in the B gap. Otherwise, he did nothing. And you
He
can't
didn't look bad, though, so, I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, sure. And you can't, his receiver depth is so good, but you can't start them all. It doesn't help you if you can't start them all. So,
and Josh was in the same situation last year.
Yeah, gotta diversify. Gotta diversify. Hopefully he's pretty active in trying to hunt down a replacement. Okay, moving on. And this is the one I've been waiting to talk about all night. Right here, at 5. At 5! 5, Noah!
What? Who?
It's Guy the
Oh, it's
Blank.
Guy.
Justin, where do you have
4.
Guy? Justin, where do you have Guy?
2.
All right, someone asked me where I have Guy.
Luke, where do you have Guy?
Oh, hold on, let me check. Let me check. 2. Noah, where do you have Guy?
What's Jacob's team name?
And why? Why have you done this to a
Guy
man?
doesn't listen to the pod, right?
He listens every week.
The same reason I had Luke at 5 last week. Okay, you can't jump 5 spots in 1 week. All right, it just can't happen. It's like all his players have one good game. It's like, oh, he's the greatest. Nah, Guy, I love you. I'm just having fun.
Okay, so let's talk about it.
You're really like 4 on my rankings.
4? Come on. Okay. So, let's. Oh no! Oh wait, I have to use this button. Sorry, I'm using controller as my mouse tonight. All right, so
who's on his roster?
Who's on his roster? Joe Burrow, Joe Shiesty, Eckler, Stevenson, Leonard Fournette,
so
Jamar Chase, Gabe Davis. He's second in points for.
Juju.
He's 3-3. According to a Guy, if him and I played every week, he would be 4-2. And I have the most points in the league. Like, his team's popping off. And Stevenson is a boon. Stevenson is a gift from God.
Rocks.
It looked like him and Harris were going to be locked in a timeshare for last year, and then lucky for him, Harris was the one got hurt. If Stevenson gets hurt, Harris is the boon for Jacob. Like it's just reversed because he gets 100% of the work, and I think Damon Harris is a fine running back, but he's hurt. Stevenson's coming in as the savior. I think he just wins the job. I think that if Harris comes back, there's no more split. And the team is loaded. Guy needs a second receiver, and his depth is kind of terrible. But I take a starting roster over everybody except one. And I think the only other bad thing about Guy is he's stuck in a division with you and me.
Yeah.
I mean, I give you crap about your roster, but like, I can't.
I'm a rated
win.
manager now.
You're rated. Go back.
If I win again, I'm going to be an underrated manager.
That was so yeah, I think that's his only downside because like I don't take playing you as a free win, and he's going to play us again, and he already had to deal with us already. So
yeah, I think he'll definitely. It's obviously a playoff team. Like barring injuries.
Yeah.
At worst, he's wild card.
So hearing the starting lineup, Santos, where would you have Guy?
I have him in the top half of the league. I don't think I have him as high as 2, but I've definitely got him in that 4 to 6 conversation. I was looking at because I've been looking at some trade targets.
Let me see where I'd actually put at him.
And I thought to myself, I was like, oh, maybe Guy's willing to sell. And then I looked at his roster. I'm like, no, Guy's like a playoff bound team if his guys keep performing. And I was like, Guy's probably not selling. So I backed off of that real fast.
Yeah, I think for where his roster is right now, I'd put him at 3.
And like, what I like about Guy's team too is that like I know that his wide receiver 2 position isn't solidified just because Gabe Davis is boomer bust, but honestly, having the consistency of Chase and having a guy that can score 35 points on 3 catches in Gabe Davis, like I'm okay living there. Like that's not a position I'm like dying to fix. Like Gabe Davis can give you the ceiling, and I'd much rather have the chance at the ceiling even if he gives you the dud games because the rest of the roster is so consistent. So
I contacted him about the player who shall not be named. And
yeah, we haven't talked about that player yet.
And Guy was like, I'm good. So he's happy.
He's happy. Good. Shocking.
Yeah.
All right, Guy, you're being robbed. Scream at Noah. Me and Justin have you higher. Okay, at 4.
I will say one last thing on Guy.
Please.
Easiest schedule over the next 3 weeks.
Yeah. Oh.
Schedule tool.
Let's just take a look at it. It's Jacob. It's Justin. Ooh. And it's Bryn. Well, Bryn's kind of good. But Justin, whoa, yeah. Should clean up here. Should be 5-3 going to the trade deadline. All right. Or 6-3 rather. Or 5-3 going to the trade deadline. I like it. Okay. At 4, it's Mark. And it's Mark really because this roster is good, but it's been decimated by one particular injury. I think he has the depth to bounce back. Luckily, it was a receiver and not a running back. Like if Chubb went down, this team would be
devastating.
But he's taking a hit in an area that he does have depth. Like Cooper's a fine play. I think Lockett's a fine play. You look at Lockett's stats; he's actually been
Lockett's
fine.
been fine.
But it's not Marquise Brown has been like a top 5 wide receiver the last 4 weeks. And I know Hopkins is coming back, and yeah, it's going to go down. I think that Marquise would have been fine. Maybe not as I don't think his ceiling maybe is big, but I think his floor has still been there. So it's a big blow. And then quarterback play has got to get better. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Hopefully Jared Goff. Do we have the horns? Did you have the horns?
I don't think I have horns.
Did you start Goff week? He was on bye week 6. Never mind.
Yeah. He had to play Wednesday because Goff was on bye. Oof. But Mark's here at 4. And what do you guys have to say about it? I mean, it's a good team.
I would be hounding Ken about Herbert. That's what I would be doing.
Really? You think Herbert's coming back? Oh, look at that face. Hello. Oh, you've been holding out on us with this setup.
Yeah, and I got to run in like 20 minutes to go pick up my girlfriend. So
okay, we'll wrap it up. Don't worry. Okay, so how you think Herbert's bouncing back? I'm so conflicted.
You have to like to me like Mark's team is not going to go anywhere in the playoffs without a good quarterback play. Like
I'll gamble on Herbert.
The wide receivers aren't good enough that in conjunction with the running backs, you're going to offset not having a good quarterback. I think it's just not possible. So I would be like, that's the one hole in this team. There's no other hole.
Yeah, and Njoku's been fine for.
Njoku's been fine. I rated his tight end pretty high.
Yeah, I like Njoku. and he's got 4 Ravens. Like with all those Ravens, like how can you lose? Honestly,
Got a murder of Ravens.
you can't have mine, Mark. Stop asking. Okay, moving on. It's at 3. Sam Alama Ding Dong. Sam's at 3. This is more. We all think he should be below 3.
Nah, how did this happen?
Because you nuked Guy. That's how this happened.
Well, he would still be like if I put Guy up there, he still only drops in one spot.
Oh,
How is
no,
he at a
it's-
+1 for the week, or
He
in
was at
reality
4.
a neutral?
Because he was at 4 and Mark dipped from both me and
Yeah,
Justin.
who do I have?
Are you doing a little quick fix here?
No, I'm just wondering. Who do you guys have
It also
below Mark that I have above
who
him?
you have at 1 is helping too.
below
Push
Sam.
Sam here. Look at the numbers.
It is.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Okay. Hold on. We'll come back to that guy. Okay. So Sam is at 3, and I don't have much to say about Sam's team. I think that he needs Keenan Allen to come back, and he needs Jonathan Taylor to actually play football. And hopefully Mostert's the answer, because
Keenan
Dylan is
Allen?
not the answer.
Yeah, I mean, he's injury bug is probably biting him the worst out of maybe all the teams. I mean, Taylor and
Definitely in the
Waddle
top 5.
are not healthy, and he's got 3 IRs on his bench. So, yeah. I will say this: easiest remaining schedule the rest of the season for Sam.
Is Sam? Okay.
Yeah.
And
He's
he
got
has 5
matchups
wins,
with
so.
all 3 bottom dweller out of division teams still remaining.
That does.
I do want to shout out Sam for the Kyron Williams pickup
Yeah,
on
I like that
waivers.
a lot.
Very sneaky. I like that a lot. If that pays off, we're in trouble.
Well, and this is the, I downed Sam 2 weeks ago. I said I was sorry last week. This is a mark of a matured manager. This is the kind of pickup I like. Kyron Williams is the kind of pickup I like, because you hold on to him over the next 3 weeks. Let's say he does nothing. Let's say it's lost you nothing but a bench spot for 3 weeks, but it could win you a league. Getting something like this, unlike spending $8 on a Randall Cobb that you just cut.
$9.
Right?
That I drop immediately.
What? Before the week started, right? All right, a little dig at Noah, but that's the kind of pickup I really like. Some of these guys to be picking up, like we already talked about Kenny and Drake, how there's no upside. What is we saw the upside is 80 and a touchdown. That's the top. Whereas the Kyron Williams could be a starting running back, like the full-on starter for a McVay team, and we've seen how valuable it is. So, like, I think that. I know I'm trying to look at the waiver wire differently. I think Sam is fully there. He's made a bunch of moves. Like, he freaking grabbed Pacheco ahead of me, and I had to go fight him tooth and nail to trade for him. Because, like, I love that pickup. And because of the upside. The chance of getting a league winner is so much more valuable than getting someone who's going to give you 10. Like, it's just so much more valuable to me. You can always find that guy. You can always find the guy who's going to plug in and get you 7. But I thank you, Santos, because I'm totally with you. In fact, I didn't have a waiver in this week. Didn't really look at the waivers. This afternoon, I was like, ooh, maybe I should go pick up Kyron Williams. And I was like, crap, it's already gone.
It's the same principle for me of holding on to Jameson Williams. And I mean, I've been fielding a couple trade offers for that guy. And for my part, it's like, I'm not selling him. I want to see what I can get out of this. I don't know. When did I draft
He was
him?
bottom end. It was like 14 or 13.
12.
Yeah, and
12.
if he
Still.
Yeah, and if he turns out to be this insane player that comes online, weeks 10 through 16, and next year, I can keep him for a 10th.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Well, you don't have a 10th. I have a 10th. I have your
Well,
10th.
okay.
But anyway, yeah,
You
I'm
know
with
what I
you.
mean.
I know what you mean. I love it. Okay. Anything else on Sam? Sam, keep it up. Keep up the good fight. Okay, love you, buddy. I love you. Remember that. Even with you texting me nonsense. Still love you. Okay, and number 2. He's here among us. In the room. Santos has made his climb. It's time. 6-0
He
Santos
has arrived.
has jumped 3 spots.
The applause.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, revel in it, my friend. And I asked
From
you
worst to almost first.
No, seriously, we had him at the bottom post draft, and you have made some moves. Let's be fair.
I mean, that is
the same roster.
It's
right?
absolutely not the same roster. So yeah.
So you made some moves, but I asked you this 3 or 4 weeks ago. I need to hear it again. What's the secret? What? Tell us how.
All right.
I
mean, I'll just say it again because I was actually running the numbers on this because this is. If you look at my matchup with Noah this past week,
Justin, but yes,
Me.
Yeah, sorry,
Justin.
Justin.
Yeah,
Yes,
you're good.
Sorry, I was thinking about the week before too. No, I'm sorry.
when I
was
beat
thinking
you,
about...
when I beat you, back when I destroyed you.
Well, like look
They all just
at
stumbled
what
together.
happened here. So, Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs put up a combined 52, and then I got 20 points for my running backs. Gallup had a goose week. Zach Ertz put in 10. Edwards-Helaire had a rough week, but then I streamed the right defense.
You did, yeah.
And Greg Joseph was on the field.
He was on the
kicked
field.
He was
extra
active?
points. And this fun.
He kicked 1 field goal and 1 extra point. But I mean, look, I'm not gonna lie. My team has a lot of holes, and I'm still like trying to make some moves to plug those holes. Like, I guess maybe we can. I don't think we've talked about that Christian Kirk trade yet, right?
No, and we can talk about it. So
yeah, and so I'll just say, like, I'm fully cognizant that my team is basically carried by the Buffalo offense, and I fully expect to lose to Bryn this week. Like, if I win, it will legitimately be a shock.
If you win, I think I'm just penciling you in for league champion and walking away. Like, ow!
If he wins, he goes to 1.
Yeah,
No question.
but
Brent, you go to 12.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, no, I think I just got lucky that, Diggs fell to me when he did in the draft. And then I've just been able to, I think I've
kept Allen
streamed,
where?
I think I've just been hitting on defenses every single week. And that's been a huge aspect is that I've nailed the defense streams. So
Yeah, don't need a wide receiver 2 when your defense scores like a wide receiver.
yeah, I mean,
Well-
when I'm putting up 10 to 15 on my defense every week, I mean, that's basically a player right there. So
I think too. I've been looking at it, and I want to, giving you 100% credit, Santos. I think it helps that your team has been consistent in putting up 90 to 110 points. I think you had the one boom week in week 1.
Yeah.
But you've been consistent in putting up a solid score. And honestly, if you can do that consistently, you will win most of your games. Santos has racked them together, and hopefully his streak continues. But like that's where we're seeing these teams that are 3-3, like me. Like for me, I've only put up 100 once, under 100 once. I've played 3 teams who had their league highest score against me. I'm 3-3. But you can track and see if you're consistent, if you have consistent players, and Diggs and Allen are great, but then you have your defenses playing well, you're getting something, right? You're not putting gooses up across the board. And then there's a little bit of a luck of your opponent not booming.
well, I have the lowest points against in the league, and that is
that does
And
play a
plus 2
part.
expected wins.
yeah. So
Yeah,
but
that does play a
still,
part.
even with the +2 expected wins, all right. So at worst, I'm 4-2, and even
Right,
like
which
if
is
you look
better
at
than
this
most
past week, week 6,
Right.
I would have beaten everybody except you, Luke, and Guy.
Yeah.
And
But that's what I'm getting at. I think your roster is consistent, if not booming, and you're adding pieces. Now let's talk about the deal real quick. So I
Yes.
just flipped Christian. I had a wealth of running receiver all of a sudden. We'll talk about it in a minute. And so I flipped Christian Kirk to Santos, and I think this is a big hole plug for you.
yeah,
Hopefully.
and I had been a little reticent to start the buying process because I was doubting my roster. But after I'm 6-0, I literally need a couple wins and I probably make playoffs historically.
2 more wins probably, and you're fine.
Yeah. Okay, it's time to start pushing all in. And I'm still out there trying to make some plays. I don't know how often Ken listens to the show, but Ken, I've sent you a few offers, so get back to me, buddy.
I can confirm that he sees the trade offers.
Yeah,
Yeah, he does.
He's active.
So, yeah, I'm like, and maybe this is my philosophy. I don't know how you guys feel about this when it comes to buying and making that push. But like, okay, there are certain picks that maybe you want to hang on to. Okay, maybe you want to hang on to your 1 through 4. In Luke's case this year, he dumped off his 1, to grab Cooper Kupp. Is that worth it to him? Because he might make
what? I haven't heard about this.
We haven't talked about it yet. We'll talk about it later.
Did
Keep
I
going.
spoil
No,
things?
no.
Okay.
You're good. Just keep going.
All right. So for me, like, I really want to hang on to my 1 to 3, but like,
Sure.
Am I willing to send off my 4th rounder for a high-end wide receiver 2, low-end wide receiver 1? When, if you think about it, the next year, there's a whole new crop of draft picks that I can start trading away again. I could then trade, and you can just, it's a...
Push the farm.
Yeah, you
shove
can
it
just
down
kind
the
of
road,
push
kick the can.
kick the can down the road.
Just keep kicking it.
And since there's no like end point for fantasy, I can just keep sending off my draft picks to buy players if I want, which isn't probably the best.
It's not the worst idea because you're saying basically, okay, my team this year is good except I'm missing a wide receiver. I can trade a 4th for a wide receiver right now. Next year, if you're missing only your 4th, there's a pretty good chance that you come out of the draft only missing like 1 hole.
Right.
And then you just trade another pick
I can
for
send
one.
another 4th round pick away for a wide receiver. And I don't know if I like...
That's a gamble, but like...
It's a gamble, yes, but I think it's worth it to me. So am I actively shopping my 4, 5, 6 around for a high-end wide receiver 2, low-end wide receiver 1? Yeah. And I think that's worth it to me because I think that's basically the hole I need to fill, fill my flex spot. Because I think I've got running back decently set.
Or
I can get
Kirk to your flex spot if you can put someone in your 1-2.
Right. If I can get 20 to 25 points out of my running backs,
right,
and Allen Diggs are giving me 50, on an average, and I can get 20 to 30. Ertz looks
Ertz
pretty
is a
good.
gem.
Ertz is great, and Hollywood Brown is out. I think that the production that we thought was going to go away, he's just going to hold on to.
Yeah, it's going to continue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful that I can maintain that 100 average,
With
maybe
a possible
bump it to like a 105, 110.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that was kind of my thought process behind
Okay, so let's
buying
talk
Kirk.
about it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it. So I'm at 1. I don't want to talk about my roster. Let's just talk about the trade. Because Santos, after I got, I was working with Justin. I heard you were in on it. Noah, I heard you were in on it. I heard there was 4 other managers not named Noah, Santos, or Luke that were in on it.
I was in on the Cup.
The Cup deal.
Yeah.
Right? Like, everyone's bidding. And so I love what you said about what you're willing to give up. Because my first offer to Justin included a 3rd and a 5th, I think. Right, Justin?
Yeah.
And I went to bed on that offer, and I couldn't sleep. You're laughing. I'm serious. I woke up like 3 times, like thinking to myself, like, if I let this go, I'm going to regret it. Like, I'm going to look back and say...
And that offer would have lost.
I didn't push my chips in. I should have gone harder. Because this is the thing. Like, I think my roster was missing a true number 1 receiver. It was a glaring hole. I had great 2s, and there was getting good production in the receiver room. I wasn't upset with the receiver room, but it was the area that I could build, that I really needed to build. I think the rest of my team is fine. And there is no better player available than Kupp. I was going to go after Justin Jefferson hard, but I doubt I was going to trade with it because Jacob's so salty about Breece Hall.
Yeah, you wouldn't have got him.
So I don't think I was ever going to get him. And Chase is going nowhere. And it was like, it's Kupp or nothing. And so I woke up and did some math, thinking how I could address the draft, how I could deal with it. And I was like, I'm going to give up my 1. I got to give up my 1. So I sent in a new offer to Justin, which isn't the offer we agreed upon, by the way. It was an offer including the 1, didn't have the stuff in it. And he's like, and I said, there's a timer, dude. I don't know how I can hold on to like a 1 being out there, bro. Like, I can't live with that in the universe. And he's like, okay, don't worry. I'm going to make a decision soon. Don't worry. So I get out of work and I call him and I say, listen, Justin, no one else is offering you a 1. I know no one else is offering you a 1. And he said, someone's thinking about it. And I said, Justin, they haven't sent it to you. If they're thinking about it, that means it's not coming. I pushed it in. Let's make a deal. And then we started haggling from there. But, like, I want to hear your guys' thoughts because that was I heard from Santos what he's thinking. But I'm going to be without my first, and I have no doubles. Like, it's not like I have a first and 2/3. I am straight up 2 through 7 with picks. Like, no doubles. But I'm, like, willing to roll the dice and trust my drafting skills next year to try to push this roster all in. And I'm curious to see, like, where were you guys at on that? Because we were all in on it. And like I said, there were other managers that were in on it.
Where was I at with my offer?
Yeah, like, what were you thinking? How much you were putting in? Like, I heard that Sutton might have been available, but I didn't know the details. You know what I mean? So, like,
yeah. So my offer before Sutton dudded was the highest I think I went was like a second for a fourth, and Sutton. And then I talked to my buddy who's not part of our league, who I kind of go to with questions about trades that I'm thinking about. He basically talked me out of it because of the value of second round players and just like, is it really worth the upgrade over Sutton? Because he was very high on Sutton. I don't know if he still feels that way, but at the end of the day, I backed down to like a third for a sixth, and was unwilling to go for a second round, which I knew wouldn't win. Like, especially at that point, I knew there was a first on the table. So
if you had gone as 2 for 6, if you'd gone to 2 for 6, I would have taken your deal. Your deal was the one I wanted.
Really?
I wanted.
You really wanted Sutton?
I wanted Sutton.
Yeah.
So
that's
if you had,
interesting because I was doing like a 2 for a 10 or something like that, if I recall correctly.
Oh, that was a big jump. Holy.
So like after because me and Noah like kind of talked about like, you know, I was trying to get him to go to second. He wasn't willing to do it. So Santos, you were the next one because I was interested in Jameson Williams. If you had included Jameson Williams in the trade.
Yeah, but I wasn't willing. Once I told you I wasn't interested in selling Jameson. Well, no. I told you that after the trade had happened.
Yeah.
But obviously it wouldn't have worked anyway because Jameson's not moving. So
yeah, if you had gotten back to me about like Jameson, I probably would have taken yours, even where me and Luke landed. But Luke closed the deal before he had a chance. So,
well, I mean, Lamar took the deal. Like, come on.
What were the final details? There were 2 other picks as well, right?
Okay, yeah. So final.
It's a 1 for 6, and then I moved Luke from 12 to 9, and then Patterson was in the deal.
Okay.
And I didn't have a 6. So like I said, like I truly am 2 through. I think I have 2 7s, 2 or 2 8s. I have 2 8s now, and a 9-10. So I am just straight up picks. No first.
Yeah, and it's interesting to me because as I was thinking about, okay, am I really willing to drop a second on Cooper Kupp? Again, kind of going back to what am I willing to give up here in order to win a championship? My thought was like, okay, if he takes the deal, sure, I'll take it. But I absolutely have to smash my draft next year because I'm giving up so much value when I don't have that second round. And like Luke, I think now the same goes for you. Like, you're losing out on one of those theoretical top 12 players in the league. And I just feel like the value curve has such a steep drop off. And it also depends on where you're picking, in the second round as well. So
no, I agree 100%. And I told Justin, we closed the deal and we start talking, and I said, Justin, believe me, hopefully my goal is that I won't have a choice, right? That I'll just get told where my draft position is. That's the end goal.
It's gonna be 7. But, I mean, the champion is like.
Right. But if I do get a choice, you better believe I'm picking as late as I can. You better believe I'm kicking that sucker as far out as I can. And but I'm with you, Santos. And this is something that too, like, it's all about like what do you value. If I win the championship, and this is, I think, as it stands right now, I know we're in week 6. There's 10 more weeks to go. I get that. As it stands right now, I think this is the best roster I've ever had in fantasy football from end to end.
It's the best roster I've ever seen. So on my rating system, you can get a max score of 30. No one's gotten above like 23, 24. You're at 29. Like,
and it's like depth.
I think that's why it makes a lot more sense for you as well. Because like, if I get Cooper Kupp, I'm still 3-3, and I have other question marks, and I'm not that likely to win the league, and then I'm out of second or whatever. But like you being out of first, your roster is still putting up mad points. You got players everywhere. Like you're a favorite for sure, barring craziness that happens. But that's always the risk with fantasy football.
I would set the over under for your amount of losses through the end of the year at 1.5 or something like that.
Like the rest to close out.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have some weird buys. Like when the Ravens
That'll
go
be
by,
too.
it's gonna be weird.
I put you at 10-5 or 9-5.
Sure, but what I'm getting at is like if I win, I will accept sucking next year, like full on. But if I don't win, I feel like, and Noah's accused me of cheating because I used Fantasy Footballer's Ultimate Draft Kit this year. It was worth the money. But I feel confident in not only my draft skills, but how to maneuver through the league, like how to make trades and how to make waiver wire. Like I am confident in my skills that I'll make up the difference in the one. That being said, I have no intention to trade any other top end picks. Like part of the was like, this is it. Like I can't go anymore. And so I'm like stuck now too. I just can't imagine. Whereas like I think Kessner last year kind of got caught in this like try to buy back in. Like he bought Christian McCaffrey, went down. He went back and bought David Montgomery. Like he was like trying to get his roster there, and I just can't imagine doing that. So if I get screwed in 8 weeks, and I have like 7 people out, then I've just like blown it. But like I said, I would regret it. I would sit back and regret it, and I just couldn't live with it. I was like, I got to go in and see if I can get this roster there because it's begging to have that last piece, like the crown jewel attached. And so here we are. But it's good to hear everyone's thought process because like you said, no, I think it made the most sense for my roster, but I also spent the most. It was like, yeah, I got some texts for like, bro, this is ridiculous. And it's like, you are welcome to throw first at Justin. Like I didn't stop you.
I asked everybody in the the offer. Like no one did.
Like I'm not stopping you from trying to outbid me. And I went in and closed the deal, and so now we are where we are. It's like, hopefully it pans out. I mean, hope for me.
So my only question is, Justin, why did you sell him?
Yeah, well, please, let's hear it.
That's a good question. So when I went and bought Cup, I kind of I mentioned last week, I saw it as a buying time maneuver. And I wanted to see what my roster had. And I wanted to, be in a good spot to make the playoffs. And I just looking at the schedule and I was like, I need wins, to stay in this. Cause I was, there's a chance it could go downhill. And so I won against Jacob and then lost against Santos. But even going into the week against Santos, I kind of felt like because Cup's bye was coming up.
It's this
week. I was like, no matter whether I win or lose against Santos, I think it's a good time to sell Cup because I felt like the market was going to be hot. And I can go two directions with I can either sell for capital or I can sell for like a slightly, not as good player and get some capital back to kind of like even out my, lessen the risk. Because like as it stood, I was without my second and third. Like I'm all in at that point, for this year. And so I kind of wanted to like lessen that a little bit. And so that's why your offer, Noah, was the most appealing to me because it gave me the best balance of like staying in it, slightly downgrading Cup, getting through the Cup's bye, and like regaining some of that capital.
Yeah.
Now obviously Luke offered a better deal. I just, I couldn't rationalize not taking Luke's deal when you were for a third. Like I couldn't rationalize that. Yeah. So
you can't do that.
I was like, well, I mean, the way I see it right now, like I bought Cup. Now I've sold him. Like my roster just is what it was before I got Cup. So like, I think I still have a chance to make playoffs. Like I don't think it's large. And
And
I
when you're
think
in
just like,
playoffs, anything can happen.
yeah, exactly. Like, and so I was like, I'll just kind of, it's kind of like going back to net neutral, in many ways. So that was kind of the reasoning. We'll see what happens.
Well,
We will
Justin,
indeed.
I'd much rather you have my first than Kessner. All right, so no, you brought up your friend who you like contact who's not in the league. Kessner used to be that guy for
Yeah.
me, but now he's in the leagues. I can't even reach out.
in your division, even.
Yeah, he's freaking knocking on my door.
What's funny
Annoying.
is, Luke, you're my go-to guy for other leagues. So
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
I hit you up about trades in other leagues, and I'm like, yeah, what do you think about this?
I love that. I love getting
You
my
have to have a
father-in-law.
guy.
Yeah, my father-in-law calls me for two reasons. He wants to see my grandkids, or he has a question about fantasy football. It's like, hey Ken, okay, yeah, let's talk about your flex. Let's see if we can fix it. But yeah, no, it's
Luke and I used to co-manage a team outside the league.
I don't miss that league, but I miss co-managing with you, dude. Like me and Justin used to get on. We used to do the pod, and then that league's waivers ran on Thursday morning. So we would finish the pod and then and it was fab. So then we would set our waivers and it'd be like, all right, how much are we spending? All right. And one year I talked him in. It's so bad.
Oh, that was so bad.
The Lions lost like their first two starting running backs. And I talked him into going full Monty on the rest of our fab for Ty Johnson. Because I was like, when are we ever going to get an opportunity? I was like, he got all the snaps after the guys went out. When are we ever going to get an opportunity? And we need a running back, like desperately. He's going to be a full-time starter. He looked good. And it was like, all right, let's start at 5. I was like, no, Justin, we got to go in. We got to push it all in. We got to make sure we get him. And I'm like, we spent like 47. And I think the next closest was like 4. It was so terrible. And I remember being like, I'm so sorry, Justin. And then he was terrible. Like, if we overspent and he was fine, okay. But then he was... anyway. I missed that a lot. Don't miss the league, though. Like, the league kind of sucked. Okay, I mean, Santos, always good. I was really interested to hear your guys' takes on it, because I wish I could pick the brains of the other guys who were involved. Just kind of seeing where they were at. Because I don't think there's been another player that's had that many active bidders. Hi, buddy.
No, the activity was insane. I had to like
Justin was
I
overwhelmed.
had to text people and be like, all right, just send me like an offer on Sleeper, because I can't text everybody. Like, just do it. It was too much activity.
Yeah, and that's why
I think last thing I'll say about it from my perspective was that I think I would have done the deal if it was there, but I just wasn't. I didn't have like the player capital, I don't think, that Justin was really looking for. Like, I don't have a Cortland Sutton sitting around that I can just like, drop off. And so I think I would have had to make that.
Well, I was looking at you,
first round pick
Santos, as kind of like I said, there was. Well, I was just gonna say, like, for like you, Santos, like you and Luke were like the completely rebuild for next year vein, and then so Sam and Josh were also going after Cup. Sam, Josh, and Noah were in the vein of like, I compete this year and kind of regain a little bit of capital. So it was kind of two different routes. So like, I never was looking for you for like a Sutton. I was just looking for capital, and like,
yeah, that makes sense.
Jameson was kind of interesting.
Bosch is so cool.
He's so cool, dude. It was time for him to get involved. Okay, no one wants your butt in the mic, bro. Okay, all right. I think that's it. Nothing exciting on waivers. We talked about that. I'm excited. Trade deadline is in 3 weeks. Week 9.
Reminder that the Allen Robinson sweepstakes are still open. Make an entry.
Hey, he caught a touchdown.
Closing fast.
People. He caught a touchdown.
Yeah.
He had
He's
7
back,
targets.
baby.
Yeah. He's back. I love the Juju pickup. Juju's in guys lineup this week. I know he's got some guys on bye, but
That's
so
why he's
good.
at 12.
That's why he's at 12.
If I could make a quick podcast suggestion, considering we're coming up on halfway through the season, maybe some mid-season awards are in order.
Oh,
I don't know what you guys
Mid-season
do,
awards.
Mid-season awards.
but maybe mid-season MVP, surprising manager,
Maybe
those kinds of
mid-season
things.
predictions, perhaps.
Yeah.
Okay.
bold
Those sound-
predictions for the midseason.
Yeah, ooh, I would love some bold predictions. That sounds fun.
We'll have to work on a drop, Justin.
Oh yeah.
We
We'll
gotta
figure
get a
something
drop.
Guy wins 8 games in a row from here on out. That's my bold prediction.
That's you heard it here,
8
folks.
games in a row.
Sandoz is calling for a guy sweep.
Look,
Oh,
Guy at 11-3. If you told me that right now, I'd be like, okay, sure.
his roster could do it. He's got the
Yeah.
ceiling. And there are only a few teams in the league that have that ceiling. Like, I think it's me, Guy.
Really only
and
2.
That's it.
That's it.
That can do that. Whoo, mama. And Noah buried him. On that note, everybody,
Joke.
it's been a pleasure. It's
All
been
good
fun.
fun.
Good night. We'll see you later.
Peace.
Peace.